A little bit early, but sometimes you gotta be early in these situations to get the right photos. So we're going to the first spot and it's gonna be worth it. So I guess I should give a little bit more context of what we're doing, but we're here in New York City and I'm gonna be taking 6 portraits in 6 of my favorite locations that I've looked at online or seen in person, and I wanna bring you guys with me. So the first stop is the Brooklyn Bridge. So first location right here at the Brooklyn Bridge. Ready, 1, 2, and 3. There you go. And then kind of like lean up against it. That way it'll be the center that way. So turn towards me like that way. Yeah. One of the beauties about here in Brooklyn, in the bridge especially, is that you get to see the Manhattan Bridge as well behind you, the city and Brooklyn, so you get a couple of different types of portraits, but you have a lot of symmetry, which is the most important part when it comes down to taking all these photos. Just having some nice symmetry in the bridge is nice, so that's one of the reasons why I think this is one of the great locations to pick when it comes down to portraits. But you have to wake up early, because otherwise it won't be this empty. So yeah, time to rise and shine. This spot is great to get some shots with the Manhattan Bridge in the background, as well as some symmetry and leading lines from the Brooklyn Bridge to get some great portraits at sunrise. You can also change angles, capture different types of shots, all from one location to maximize your time. One great thing about showing up at sunrise to get your photos while traveling is having minimal amount of people that make it easier to remove and post, to make it seem like nobody else was there for your photos, to help your photos get a more unique shot instead of having the overcrowded photos everyone else gets. So we're basically done with the Brooklyn Bridge, off to the next location. Well, we made it to the Dumbo area. This street in the Dumbo area is great to take photos of the Manhattan Bridge. Getting there early really helps because you won't have to deal with a line of people trying to get this shot, so you can take your time and get some great portraits with a beautiful background. One of the nicest part about the Dumbo area is you get a nice view of the Manhattan Bridge, which took some nice portraits there, which is the purpose of this whole thing. And you just get a nice view of the street, of the area, but there's one little secret, place that is probably not so secret for the people that live here, but it is secret for most tourists, I guess, and until they find it, like how my wife did online, called Pebble Beach. So we're gonna go check that out real quick to show you guys that nice location. So we're here in the Pebble Beach area, which is very cool if you want to take some good photos and portraits of the city behind you. My advice is come here when it's sunset, not how it's right now, technically sunrise-ish time still. But usually we've been here before when it's the sunset time, and it looks very phenomenal. You get some nice clouds and everything in the light, and then also that blue hour time. So I'll share a little bit of the footage here and there so you can see it, as well as some photos. But it's a great location to come to if you want to have a different type of view of the city, get to relax and enjoy the sunset and just have some fun. But overall, in the Brooklyn area, the bridge and stuff like that, coming to Brooklyn Bridge, Dumbo, and Pebble Beach, you can get them all in one go. So definitely advise you to do that if you can.
Pebble Beach is a great place to capture photos and also simply just hang out. You get a beautiful skyline view and also a cool lower angle of the Manhattan Bridge to get some variety in your photos.
Well, we're here in Grand Central Station. It's going to be the next location for the portraits that we're going to be doing. So it's a good spot to come whenever the harsh light is out and about, so that way you can sure to get some nice portraits without wasting time of your day. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
Going up the steps to get a higher view of the inside of the station is great. I like to use a slow shutter to try to get some motion of the people roaming the station and as well help erase the harshness of people being around. I think it adds a cool feeling and motion to the photos to make them pop even more. Another cool thing to explore while inside the station is where the trains arrive to find some symmetry. You have to make your way downstairs to the tracks to find where there are some trains hanging around. My favorite is to use them as leading lines to get some cool symmetry with my portraits.
There you go, 1, 2, 3.
Sometimes you get luck on your side to get two trains side by side to create some symmetry for the subject to be in between for the portraits. This type of shot is one of my favorite types when it comes to taking portraits at a train station, so definitely was excited to capture these shots.
Well, we're done taking the photos here at Grand Central Station, and one of the cool things about it that I like it is just having a lot of history within it. You get to see a lot of the cool symmetry with the train and inside the station. So it's a really cool place to just do, some portraits or anything like that that's very touristic and everything. But one thing that I would advise everybody is if you do come, try to do a little bit of the slow shutter just so you can kind of blur out some people, because there's always going to be people here. So especially if you come in the middle of the day, since we're trying to get away from like the sun and the harsh lighting, that's one thing that you have to deal with. But other than that, pretty fun. And well, now we're going to the next location.
The vessel is a cool section in Hudson Yard because it's a different type of architecture, not very common. My main thing here was to get some portraits of the subject in front of the vessel from different sections to have a cool background. It's a great location as well to get creative with those lower angle portraits.
Vessel is cool and all, but obviously you need a wide angle lens. So if you do have, whether your iPhone or something like that, you can do some cool photos right there. But also as well, the sad part is that you're not able to go up there because there's some kind of sad things obviously happen. Some people were, jumping off and whatnot. So you can't go on top of it how you could apparently, but it's still a really cool place to go see and take some portraits out there. You can get some lower angles, and that's something that I think that's really cool when it comes down to just finding this spot, because it's close to another location that we're about to go here shortly. But until then, we're going to try to find another spot or two to take some photos here at the vessel and go from there.
This is another section of the vessel that we didn't get any more photos of, but it's cool to see because you have food vendors and things like that. But we're going to transport into the future because we're going to go into the nighttime to get one location that I wanted to get with the neon lights, and that is Radio City Hall.
Alright, so now we made it to Radio City Hall. Right here, there's a lot of cool neon lights that makes it really fun for photography, portraits, just adding a little bit of elements, street photography and everything like that. So we're gonna try it out to do some street photography kind of style of portraits and pretty much have a little bit of fun.
My main goal was to try to do slow shutter portraits with the Radio City behind while the cars go by and people go that way, just to add a little bit of more motion with the lights and everything at nighttime, because I think it makes it really cool, even trying this little zooming effect. And we are back to our sunset time thanks to the editing magic. We made our way to the top of the edge where we decided to come out to take some portraits with the lovely cityscape background. You get some unreal views from above where you can capture photos of the buildings and some cool portraits with the city in the background. I wanted to take some photos where the focus was on the model and the city a little bit blurred, as well as having the model blurred out but have the focus on the background to get some different focus type of shots to get some variety.
So basically this is the edge for some portraits up here. It is cool to do it, but there is a crap ton of people. So my advice is, well, just kind of hope for the best. The one only issue with the edge is it's very disorganized, so I wouldn't wait too long to come out. If anything, we did 6:30 for the time to come up, but I just said, I mean, we got up here like at 7:15-ish. So they made us wait quite a bit, and there's people always showing up late and they let them go before us. So in like for an hour even. So if anything, do 5 p.m. so that you can show up at 5:30. They'll let you up beforehand, chill out here in the top, and then, you know, get your sunset photos a lot easier than having to wait and hope that you'll get some nice sun. So we're done with the edge. It's one of the coolest places that you can see a lot of the New York area from like sunset and as well from the nighttime. One of the things I do recommend, and it's once again, show up early because you can wait there as long as you want to, so you don't have to deal with as much, you know, kind of people. You can kind of find wherever you want to take your photos at and everything. So that's one of the good things about it. And you get some nice views. Obviously, another place that I've gone to that I think is really great too. So just kind of pick and choose your battles. We didn't have enough time to do it, but the one Summit, Vanderbilt, it's very good too. A little bit more organized, but since I've already been to it, I didn't want to do it again for this video. But either or, you get some nice views of the city. So that's something that I recommend for doing some portraits that you probably enjoy yourself a lot more and get some nice photos for yourself or whomever you're going to be taking photos of. We're going to do the under the chin angle that might look good, might not, but another thing that I just want to touch base is just all these places are going to be subjective. Everybody's going to have their own opinions and everything like that. But for me, I think showing up early for the Brooklyn Bridge, wherever you can have less people, is always nice. But going to Dumbo as well, the one thing that I would say for Dumbo, definitely try to go for the sunset time. You'll have a better time, better views and everything, because that way you get to see the city behind it a lot nicer, as well with the Pebble Beach area. The Pebble Beach area is pretty cool to me because you get to see the nice skyline and everything. So depending on your timing, you might do the Dumbo and the Brooklyn Bridge on, like, you know, the morning time, and then maybe come to Pebble Beach where you can do your photos with the sunset behind the city and everything like that in the skyline. Get yourself some nice tasty treats and everything. So yeah, that's something that I would recommend 100%. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the trip with me to check out some great locations here in New York City for some portraits, and as well for just the scenery when it comes down to looking at things in, well, New York with the views and everything. So appreciate to everybody that watched the video. Let me know your favorite location down below, or maybe some new locations that I should check out as well. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. The final catch you guys in the next one. See ya.